Our next speaker is Doug Walker, who's president and principal of Placeways, a GIS-based software company whose community viz is probably well known to many of you in the audience. And his talk is about now under construction, a stairway to the Geodesign cloud. So, Doug, yes, and there you go.
Thank you. My talk actually isn't finished yet, but it's not my fault. It's that I want to tell you a story that isn't finished yet. And so it's under construction. Stairway to the Geodesign cloud. Placeways, we provide software and services to planning and geodesign practitioners. So this is through that lens of people who are using this kind of stuff every day. And the way we're doing it today is on the desktop. Desktop technology has followed this classic S-curve. It started off kind of shaky when it took over from mainframes a long time ago. It's gotten more and more capable until now. Maybe it's starting to plateau, and along comes the next technology, the internet, the cloud, and again and again and again. Where practitioners find themselves today is right in this interesting time when there's an overlap between those two. And the question on their minds is, how do I make connections across those? Now, another thing to know about practitioners today is despite all the hype, almost all their day-to-day work is still on the desktop. Cloud is coming along, but it's just intermittent. And Geodesign on the desktop today is really kind of cool. It's become incredibly impressive. I have a few examples here that just happen to be from Community Viz because we make it. It's an ArcGIS extension, sits on top of Esri's ArcGIS tools. And one of the many things it does is Geodesign. So here's the classic Geodesign process, choosing a scenario, sketching on the map with some ideas about, say, what if I change this residential area to commercial? And then Community Viz runs dozens or even hundreds of models in real time and gives the user fast feedback about the potential implications of that sketch. This is classic Geodesign, and it's going on all the time on desktops. It's also a wonderful tool for participation and collaboration. This kind of software and the desktop itself promote collaboration, visualization, working together. It's a great tool for this kind of thing, and therefore, no wonder we're seeing sessions like this now all over the country. This has become very popular for communities who are planning their future. And you'll see people in sessions like this. I think that's actually Bruce Robertson right there. That's actually me. And these fabulous meetings, which just energize the entire planning process, and it's being supported by Geodesign technology, which, by the way, is still on the desktop. Well, a natural question becomes, that's great, there's 250 people in that room, but there's 250,000 people in my region. How do I get this experience out to them? Well, obviously the web, but lesson one we've learned just in the last couple of years is really there's no direct substitute for that in-person experience. It's so rich, looking somebody in the eyes, I don't know what it is, that can't be replaced by a browser. But lesson two is there's a lot you can do to get Geodesign out there to larger audiences. So the simplest one is make a website, doesn't matter what it says, but there's got to be a little link on there, and it links to a beautiful map. PDF, this is an award winner from Compass. And the maps and the data are all coming out of the desktop analysis, but now they're being presented in a very beautiful way on the web. And you know, that's great. That actually kind of works nicely. But we started looking at that a few years ago and we said, wow, I wish we could make those maps a little more interactive. So we introduced a feature in Community Viz called Webshots, which essentially takes screenshots of all the visual components on the desktop, wraps it up with data, puts it in this nice viewer that allows somebody on the web to go through and explore the analysis, look at scenarios, do a tiny little bit of geodesign by moving like one input at a time. It's pretty good. But I have to say it's not using the full power of the cloud. That map, for example, is just an image. The viewer is standalone. It doesn't talk to anything else. It doesn't use map services. Another thing we discovered when we started taking this out onto the web is that web users aren't as nerdy geodesign people as all of you are. So sometimes they need friendlier interfaces. And we and lots of people have started using platforms like this one from MetroQuest, which have beautiful, friendly touch. And they have nice tools like this one. You can move your choices up and down to rank your priorities for the future of your community. Or to decide where you want to put future development, you just push a radio button. And when you do that, you get a map, you get indicators, you get some feedback. Now, it's actually just some canned permutations, but it's a kind of geodesign experience, pretty nice. Of course, you can go all out cloud. Of course you can. And we've seen lots of tools, we're going to see more. This is one we've been involved with that's been getting a lot of attention, New Hampshire cost of sprawl. You can go anywhere in New Hampshire and sketch a site plan. Put the polygon, specify something about how much residential and commercial development there's going to be, and then right then, in real time, it models the cost of municipal services based on that particular locality, how far it is from the nearest road, et cetera, and calculates how much it's going to cost the town and what the offsetting tax benefits were. So this is terrific, but back to the practitioner who's on the desktop. They have all this power. They could probably have done that on their desktop, and they may feel bad about reinvesting and redeveloping the whole thing all over again on the web. So what about them? Well, what we're coming out with in the next release of CommunityViz, we're calling a web app publisher. And it's a pretty simple idea. It's copy my CommunityViz analysis up to the web. Copy, paste, easy, right? Should be easy, it's not. Behind the scenes, this thing runs something like 16 different processes. Ones we've built, we're building on top of Esri's whole platform. They have some great tools. But we wrap it all up and put it behind the scenes, and the user's experience turns out to be very simple. There's that same analysis they were working on. They open a wizard, it has 3 screens on it. They fill out some simple data, and next thing you know, on ArcGIS Online, there's their analysis. But now, and it's in this nice web application, it is using the cloud now. Those are base maps. We're identifying layers. We're looking at scenarios. All that were created on the desktop, but now have been ported up. Still no real-time sketching, still no real-time modeling, but another step. Okay, so what comes after this? Can't tell you. Told you my talk wasn't finished. But ask me again in about a year or two, and hopefully I'll have the answer for you. Thank you.